Hi everybody. The last time my wife and I were on this couch making a video for this channel, we had just gotten diagnosed for our son for his rare genetic disorder known as SYNGAP1. And back then, we had a lot of hope, and we had a lot of he had a lot of good days, and he was doing okay. But unfortunately, in the past month or 2 months, his seizures especially, which is a key part of his disorder, have gotten tremendously out of hand. And unfortunately, due to the type of medical care that's available here in South Africa, we can't continue to stay here and have him treated the way that he's been treated, or trying to find new specialists. I'll go into the details in a little bit, but suffice it to say that the point of this video is to announce that my family and I will be moving back to the United States to seek immediate medical treatment for our son, which is not something that we want to do, and it's not something that we were planning on doing. And there are a ton of unknowns with this, but unfortunately he has only continued to get worse over the past few months, and we can't continue to see him having 300 to 400 drop seizures a day, and that's what we're dealing with.
Well, I think when we first got his diagnosis, his epilepsy was also relatively new, and it was decently controlled for a while on a single drug, but that quickly wore off after about 5 or 6 weeks, and then we started to realize that this was actually going to be a lot more of a journey than we thought. So in that process, he's had some really rough days. We're really grateful that he continues to make progress, like cognitively and physically, and he seems to sleep mostly pretty well at night, which is a really good thing for us. So Emmett needs a lot of really special skilled care, and that's been really hard to get here, where there's so few neurologists for children in such a large city in South Africa, here in Pretoria. So it'll be to our benefit to go back and to be able to get more
Immediate and concentrated care, where there is not a deficiency of doctors, where we have to schedule appointments 3 to 6 months out, and not have to deal with doctors who don't care about his disorder or care about him, which has been a huge challenge. And we'll likely be moving back to Gainesville, Florida, where the University of Florida, Shands, there's a lot of great doctors there and tons of great neurologists. So that's the ultimate announcement, is that we have to leave South Africa. Now, with regards to the YouTube channel and what that means for UFD Tech, the honest and raw truth is that I have no idea. Obviously, with moving across the world, it takes a ton of effort to get rid of everything and reset up our lives in the United States. So that's going to take a lot of my effort. And if you have noticed a diminished quality in our videos at all, that is likely the reason. We've already begun selling everything that we have in order to make this trip. But with regards to the team here at UFD Tech, this is such a sudden move that we didn't make arrangements for them to get visas. The waiting time for visas is 2 months. We're not even guaranteed to be able to bring anybody with us, and that has been an incredibly difficult thing to let the team know, that I'm not sure if they have a job once we move. And there's tons of consideration as far as remote working and figuring other things out, but also when it comes to hardware, there's not a whole lot of remote working that can be done when it comes to video editing and filming, and there's a ton of challenges to overcome with that. And with our trip back to the States last year, I was working 18-hour days trying to make it work for the team here in order to get that, and that's just not sustainable with our son's current condition. I can't make that happen again the way that I made it happen last year. And so I don't know if I can provide a job for the team, and also we don't have the finances lined up to bring them with us, which is that's been a huge burden on me, that I can't even make a plan for them at this point. So as far as the videos, we're going to be getting out of this office soon, so the videos will change in location. As far as frequency, I will work as hard as I possibly can, because the YouTube channel has been what has allowed us to be able to pay for our son's medical treatments. Without this channel, we wouldn't have been able to afford everything. And thankfully, we can afford for my family to go back, but I don't know what that means for the rest of the team here. And as far as timeline with regards to when everything is going to be happening, I don't have a clear idea. As you could probably imagine, moving all the way across the world and ending your life here is not an easy task, and there's a monumental amount of work that has to be done in order to get that to happen. So ideally, the plan would be to leave towards the end of this year, December, January timeframe. But unfortunately, because of our son's condition rapidly progressing into the negative area, it's likely that my wife will have to leave with him much sooner, probably within the next few weeks. And she will go and take care of him in the States by herself, which is not the thing that I want to do. And so if we can arrange it, and if somehow I can deconstruct our life here quick enough, we will maybe go back in October or November. But it's all up in the air, just because moving your life is not a simple, quicker, easily understood process. So yeah, as far as timeline, it's very vague at this point. So the long and short of it is, I don't know what the future of UFD Tech is. I won't stop the channel because I love doing this. This is a great line of work. And I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can to make it work for my family as well as the team here, because we were planning on staying in South Africa for several more years, and the fact that now I have to pull the rug out from everybody who works here and tell them that their job security is on the line, that I can't provide for that, I hate it. I really hate the position that we're in. But it's what we have to do for our son, and there's really no other option. We've spent the past 5 months looking for those options, and it's the reason why we're only making the decision now, is because we've constantly fought to stay and constantly fought to find the right care. We've seen every specialist on the face of the planet that we could here in South Africa, and it's just not getting any better. And I'm sure with regards to our son's treatment, a lot of you will ask about CBD oil and keto and a bunch of different treatments, and we are looking into it. CBD, unfortunately, is not readily available here in the clinical doses that we need. And then on top of that, he is on another medication where it could potentially cause liver failure for him. So we can't just give that to him. And then keto, we're willing to look into it, but we had a huge fight for the past 3 months where there was tests showing that he had a fat processing issue, where if we put him on keto, he could potentially die from it, the diet. And so we've resolved that, and we're looking into it now, and we're working with the dietitian on it. But suffice it to say, we are working as hard as we possibly can to provide for our son and to get him treatment and to work with him. And I'm working as hard as I possibly can on the channel to make sure that we provide you guys with as much content as we can, which means that I can provide jobs for the people here and I can pay for my son's medical bills. But with moving back to the States, it's not something that I can guarantee any longer. So practically, if you would like to help out the channel, and this is by no means an obligation to anybody, and if you don't feel like you want to support us or you can't, there's no hard feelings, and I completely understand, but there's several ways that you can support us directly. One is we have a Patreon page where you can support us on a monthly basis. It's just a way of helping us out and making sure that we can continue moving on here. We also are on Floatplane. If you want to get early access to all of our videos with no sponsors, that's another way to do it. You can sign up at the link down in the video description. Thirdly, I'm going to be streaming as often as I possibly can as means of a fundraiser to try to raise funds for medical treatment in the United States, as well as getting funds together to help get the team over to the United States, which would include visas and flights and accommodation once they get there. Hey friends, actually just a quick update. It's actually Friday now. My wife and I had recorded that video on Monday, but there's been a few updates. One is that one of our friends in America did end up starting a GoFundMe for us. So if you feel led to donate there, you can do so. And one of the great things is that the friend who started the GoFundMe is committing $10 for every person who donates through the link, up to $3,000. So whatever you might choose to donate would get added $10 to it effectively. So if you choose $5, that's a $15 donation to us, which is amazing. We thank our friends in America so much for supporting us. And if you feel like you can, then we also really appreciate it. Number two is that I had one of our team members, Jason, spend all week working on some merch designs so that you could get something, let's say, in return for financially supporting us. So we've launched a Teespring campaign where you can pick up our new merch designs. We've got some fantastic ones, such as this expanded design of an F key, so you can press F to pay respects for our situation. Also, we have this great floppy disk shirt, as well as just staples of, hey friends, the UFD Tech logo and the Hot News logo. So if you want to pick up any of those, the proceeds will go to making sure that we get my son's medical treatment, as well as assisting getting my team to the States. And then finally, we recorded the video on Monday, and unfortunately on Wednesday, my son actually had to be admitted to the ER because of the sheer amount of seizures he was having. We had a 24-hour EEG done on Tuesday, and during that time, there were thousands of seizures recorded. And he was actually very close to going into status epilepticus, which is when the brain can't recover from having seizures and just continues to have one after the other. So he's currently in the hospital as of right now. He also had bronchitis as well as a significant fever, and the bronchitis and the fever have been treated, and they're working on potentially helping us out with a new prescription regimen for controlling the seizures so that we can get him stable and get my son out of here. And after we recorded that video, my wife and I have made the decision that she has to leave early, and probably within the next few weeks, to just make sure that he can get the treatment that he needs. So a lot of medical bills piling up even this side before we can get him taken care of in the United States. But I just want to add this quick update because of the new funding options that have come along since Monday, and then also my son's update. But hopefully he will be released from the hospital either tomorrow or Sunday is what we're hoping for. And then we can potentially move on from there. And so if you feel led to give to our family and our team here at UFD Tech to help make sure that the next stage isn't such a scary one and that we'd actually be able to get through it, that would mean a lot. If not, I completely understand. But I would like to communicate that I am working my absolute hardest to make sure that I'm the one providing, and I'm selling everything we have, everything that we've built with this channel, all of our lighting equipment, all of our computer parts, everything that we have, I'm selling it in order to fund this and to provide a future for my son as well as the team here. And so I would, if you're considering supporting us, I just want you to know that I'm literally working as hard as I possibly can to provide. And so I don't really have a good way to end this, because South Africa was the start of this channel for us, and it meant a lot to be here and to grow it the way that I have. And the fact that this season is over and that we aren't going to be here any longer, I hate it. And I don't feel guilty because I know I'm taking care of my son, but there's a ton of remorse and pain that has gone into this decision. And I just want to thank everybody who's watched our channel over the years, the millions of views that we've gotten, the hundreds of thousands of subscribers that have come to support us. It has meant a lot. And I mean, you guys are the reason that I've been able to provide for our son's enormous medical bills. I feel like I'm rambling, and I don't want to belabor this anymore. Do you have anything that you'd like to add? I'm incredibly thankful for everybody who watches our videos. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that we've had for me to be a YouTuber and for us to build a team here. It's meant the world. And I will continue to fight for it. And I'll continue to work as hard as I possibly can to make sure that everything works out. And I thank you for the support that you guys are going to leave on the video and the encouragement. It means a lot. Thank you. See you in the next video.